Yo.
It's the MBM.
What?
Monday board meeting.
Ah.
Someone commented it.
Nice.
No way.
The Monday board meeting. We are here. Have you surfed? What you been surfing? Who you been surfing with? Where you been surfing? Are you allowed to say where you've been surfing? I do not know anymore.
Yeah. After you.
Oh, yeah. So, I surfed Friday and...
Can we tell the whole truth about Friday?
Yes.
Because you really emotionally...
I was pretty... Because originally... Because you and I went to the rugby Saturday and I said no because I was going to go surfing. I was just going to go on a hunt Saturday. But after myself on Friday, I was kind of like, I knew by the time I got in at 5:30, I was like, I'm not surfing tomorrow. I just need to decompress. So yeah, I went and surfed Rivermouth on Friday on my 7.2 Vicon. I've been looking on the webcams. And during the day, there'd been a few people out and I could see it was really firing. There was plenty of... north in the swell direction, which means it was coming straight into the bay and hitting it, so it was working. But I could also see it was pretty rippy out there, so I thought, go big, get in early, have a nice cruisy surf. The tide was going out, so by the time I got there, the tide was kind of hour or two before low tide.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, but that particular spot gets bigger and bigger and bigger the further it goes out. And by the time I got there, there's just nobody in. Like, as far as I can see, there's there, and I was like... But I'd made the mistake of getting into my wetsuit at home and then driving in my wetsuit. So it wasn't like you going in, are you?
Yeah, you didn't have a choice.
It's the saddest thing to go check out a spot in your wetsuit and come home
You're
still.
not allowed to.
No, do you know what happens
You're not allowed
if
to
you
get out
start
of the
going
dry
home? You have to chauvinistically take the piss out of yourself on the way home.
How do you do that?
Well, I don't want to say it online.
I don't think you should be allowed to go home in a dry wetsuit.
No.
I think that's a rule I have.
Even if it kills you, which is nearly what happens.
You've got to at least just go and get in.
Just get wet.
Exactly that.
Yeah, just go and get the exercise of running down to the sand.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, there's nobody in, and it's absolutely firing. And I've got the North Road Trip movie in my head, and Luke...
Not even, just we went on a surf trip.
You say it's North in there, North Devon road trip movie in my head. And
North Wales.
Yeah, and Luke asked me when we were watching, him and I were watching that, he's like, oh, could you surf that? And I was thinking to myself, no, probably not. I'm probably going and sitting on the shoulder. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's a similar size to what the guys were surfing earlier in the trip. And I was like, okay, I'm in my wetsuit, I'm just going to paddle out just to see what it feels like, basically.
Yeah.
And there were some clear, rippy sections where I thought I could just jump on that and get about. So, straight away, just paddling out on a 7.2, and it was easily double overhead, top to bottom, just sucking off the sand, and it was, relentless, and it took me about 10-15 minutes. And by the time I'm out back, I'm already kind of, at what feels like at the limits of what physically and emotionally I'm ready for. It's super rippy. I could just feel myself just being pulled all over the place. So I'm just trying to get a breather, get a feel for it, and
put a size on it. Just try.
Oh, at the time,
because my friend told me who runs a beach in shout out Bearman. He runs one of the town beaches in Newquay, and we've got a surf group.
Yeah.
And he said to me that was he said, dude, it's absolutely massive in the bay. I don't know what this swell is, but
it's the north in the swell that's coming into the bays that was doing it. Already it was pretty much as big as I'd ever seen it there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
But still working.
Yeah, unbelievably.
Yeah.
Unbelievably. Just running barrels, but the kind of barrels where you can see it sucking, the sand being sucked off and just being going through. So I sat there, actually feeling all right. And in the distance, I see this line, it's just this dark line, and I'm kind of sat there going, I think this is a set on. And I'd had a few sets kind of come through. And it's getting closer, and I'm kind of just slightly frozen because I can't quite work out what I'm looking at, basically, because it seems so much bigger than anything else that it didn't seem particularly real. And then as it's still getting closer, I'm like, oh my God, this is maybe the biggest wave I've ever seen or been in the water with, and it's coming towards me. And you know when you watch like Jurassic Park and they're with the T-Rex and you just go, run, and they're like this. I literally sat on my board going, I'm not going to make that if I paddle towards it.
Yeah, you have that split decision.
And I don't know where to go first. So I just kind of
it's the worst.
just sat on the board
Grey
going,
area of doom.
the grey area of doom, basically.
Yeah.
Just sat on it.
I got a good story
on my
about
board, just kind of like going, well, it was coming, and I'll just take whatever's coming. I kid you not, it was the biggest wave, and I went home.
So if you lied on the floor, was it that big?
Even bigger. I went and laid on my home. I thought it was around 4 overhead. Like, it was almost I easily twice the size. I sounds like I'm making this up. I just sat there, and I genuinely, it was like a movie.
It felt
I couldn't believe what I was actually.
I just hear patronise you, but it felt that big.
it was this big. No, I honestly couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was, and I did go back through all the webcams to see if I could find it. Like, but it was only on the Hale Surf Club.
Oh,
but you can't rewind it on that.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't rewind it. It wasn't on the. So it's just off towards the Mexico side.
Yeah.
There is a freedom in that space though.
I wasn't particularly.
Well, you just go.
Yeah, it was acceptance.
Yeah.
You accept what's coming quickly.
You have a
nothing else.
genuine feeling of
Nothing else you
acceptance.
can do.
Nah, because I got a very brief funny story about it, but basically same thing happened. We went and surfed Fistral.
Yeah.
And dark line on the horizon, couldn't make it, and it was just humongous. Like no part being out there. And my mate Timmy, shout out Tim Boydell, he went, I'm just gonna sit on the board. I'm like, what are you on about? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, we're gonna get fucked. We're getting fucked.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
you're just gonna like. I was like diving down deep as I could, and he just went. Like, that's the last thing I saw. He just sat on his board. I don't think I saw him again because we were just
Ever.
Yeah.
Obliterated. Literally, bits of it was still in the atmosphere.
he just felt so alive.
Yeah.
Just you've got a. What I don't know what you'd call it at that stage, but just a big wave.
I think
with lots of water. You're getting because whatever height the wave is, you're going down a bit with that as
Yeah,
well.
it's
So the
such
swim
a-
back up is actually really horrible, isn't it? Like you're like, oh my God.
I think my face had like a kind of like a sort of a befuddled grin as it was kind of going because I accepted pretty quickly. I didn't know which way to go. And then when it came, I just pushed the board and I swam down as much as I could. But I'm on a 7-2 board in my winter wetsuit, and before I know it, I'm dragged straight up again, and it felt like went over,
but you
went
could
over,
hit
the floor, just tumble. The white water was insane.
You hit the floor.
On the sand, yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of like I don't know what it is, but like heavy surf when it's like that. If I hit the floor, I'm like okay.
Yeah, same.
Because I can just be it.
Oh, it can push back up. Yeah.
I can just be here as long as like you literally I can sit here and just.
But it wasn't at the end. I hit the floor and then I was sucked straight back up again. Like
Yeah.
it lasted for ages, and by the time I came up, there wasn't one as big, but it was like a set of about 6 or 7 waves that I then proceeded to kind of like take.
Yeah.
And by the time I
lucky your leash didn't snap or like.
Well, shout out to the FCS Helix ones, because I could fit. I was literally felt like my leg was being.
Shout out to the guy who put the leash plug in.
Yeah,
Everyone always goes on about how strong leashes are. It's like there's just a plastic.
Well,
plug.
have you ever seen a leash plug fail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So the reason they don't fail is because you're obviously doing that while it's facing
it's
up
not going
here.
straight
But
out.
if you have a random situation where your
Straight
board's
on.
there and it's straight on, they come out pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think by the time I'd kind of come to it, I was a good 200 meters down the beach from where like the amount of water that come in, and then I literally paddled across the river estuary to the other side, and that was overhead and barreling really nicely, and I got a few on the shoulder.
Oh, you did? I told him you paddle straight in. Sorry.
Oh no, I had to I drifted down, but in the end I ended up like literally halfway down Fourth Kidney, a kilometre and a half, surfed it till dark. But it was one of those ones where when I'd finally got out there, like I had to have a moment just to kind of just to slow your breathing down, just to calm yourself down, because I feel the adrenaline was just like so through the roof.
Definitely. So the other time, like I had a personal one, was favourite spot where we just went on our surf trip, and I was with Tom Butler, who is I guess in some respects in heavy water he's the best person to go on a surf trip with, but really he's not, because he's going to make you go in.
Yeah.
and we got said spot at the end of August. Like, yeah.
Nice.
So, relatively tropical conditions, still freezing, but. And he made me paddle out in the dark, and it was the biggest I'd ever paddled out there, like so bad that you couldn't really time the paddle out on the rocks. It was just like a solid 3-foot shorey onto slat, and you were getting washed in, and then you had to paddle and get under the next one. It was like pretty gnarly, just everything about it. And I got out there, and I was really, really scared. And Tom had maybe 1 or 2 waves, and I hadn't had a wave yet. And it was only us two in the water. It was kind of just getting light, and I'm like, I did a little bit of that acceptance thing where it's just like, you just got to go. You got to go. Like, you got to get out. So, like, you got to go.
I always say, this is the day I die. Well, this is doing. I'm kind of happy with that.
I've never thought about dying when I'm in the sea, but I just knew I was scared.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, I'll commit to go. So a smaller one came through, and it just felt comfortable. And I paddled as hard as I could for it, and I fucking missed it. And I looked round, and there was just...
There's always 4 bigger ones coming. Like.
Oh, yeah, it was black. It was just, like you said, because it was still dark in the morning, and it was black. And I it's a very, very heavy wave.
Yeah.
And I am at the bottom of knowing that I can't get through it, and knowing that it will be the worst, like, most violent beating I've ever had in my life, at least. Whether or not, my leash didn't snap. I didn't even feel my board. That's how violent it was. I didn't even feel leash pull or anything. Just worked and worked and worked. And then there, if it's big, you're pushing down the points. You can't actually always paddle out anyway. So I had to do the run around. I was on the rocks going... I mean, I think I was crying a little bit. I was grown now. I'm not crying, but like, you know what I mean? That like...
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd love a cuddle right now. And the only reason I went back in is because I saw... a couple of our Welsh mates walking up the rocks, and I didn't want to look like a tool, and I felt better about paddling.
Well, how many people have died because they didn't want to look like a tool? Or they didn't want to drive home in their wetsuit?
This is the thing, that when you break it down, you were probably in way more danger on a flipping river mouth with rip. Like, I'm at a reef, you'd have to go out, you'd have to be knocked out on the bottom, I'd say. Like, there's no other real way. Like, you're just going to get ragged about. But we got back out there, and throughout the day, so that was dropping tide in the morning. So we had the drop, the low, and then the push. And, mate, it was probably... I got my best ever wave. So on another time that I'd been washed in after a wave, I paddled back round, and they were sat... I mean, we surfed it. Like, there was 6 matching the water. So, like, 4 of us, basically, the whole time. Just shouting, and everyone's going nuts. It's so good. I was in the water. Basically, I was the worst surfer in there. Yeah. And I think that what happens is when you're the worst surfer in there, the other surfers kind of want to see you go over the falls or get a good wave. It's just as funny. Yeah. And I'd done the paddle round, and they were all sat on the peak, and you paddle around from the back there. So I'm paddling in, and they saw a set coming, so they're like, go, and I'm like, no, I ain't good. It was smaller by then as well, by the way. It had calmed right down. The morning, I don't know what number I'd put on it, but it was the biggest surf I've ever been in. And by the time we were getting out, it was like solid double with like some smaller ones, but real nuggy ones. Yeah. So it was still really intense. And they called me in, and I took off on the slabbiest bit ever. So easy. Got to my feet straight under. Came out, did the worst cutback you've ever seen, nearly came off the back of the wave, bottom turn, into another barrel, came out again, looking out the back like, oh my God, they've seen this, pumped all the way back down and pulled into the third section and just raced it until it closed out. Nice. And I did the paddle round again. And it was the best wave, probably the best wave of my life, I'd say. But and that all stemmed from that morning of like being that scared. Yeah. By the end of it, it made me realise that like most of it is just up here.
Oh, it is. And I didn't have my best wave.
So I go out there a lot now when I'm uncomfortable, and I've realised I haven't actually surfed it that big since then. So.
That's a session I'll remember for the rest of my life. So just having paddled out. I would love, because when I was sat further down the beach, just looking back up, there were these little stand-up, heavy almond-shaped barrels just running.
I showed him the video of when I filmed it. Yeah, because he's not surfed it.
You've not surfed. We'll be surfing it this week. I think from tomorrow onwards.
Tides are bad, though.
Yeah, tides are so bad.
I think is it next week? If the forecast holds up, everywhere's kind of like red, but it's.
I'd love
it's
to.
a real
love to.
northerly swell that's coming.
Yeah, it is.
Even more
This is what I
northerly
was
than the
saying.
one there. So
Yeah.
and it's twice the size of what it was
It's
on
gonna be
Friday.
fucking
I think
mental.
it's going to be as insane as I think it's
So
ever
many
been.
places are.
It'll be like the Hercules day that Stokesy surfed it on his own.
Yeah.
When he looked like, if that's the wave, he looked like here. I was like, how do you paddle into that? He's like, it's the only wave I've got. He said, I've never been so scared in my life. He said the realisation came that I was out there and I needed a wave in. Because it's quite a...
Oh, the tides are insane there.
But I mean, like, there's no quickly dart in on a little one. It is like a shelf of...
And if you're surfing that, it can be like a kilometre, like almost in across water rips carrying you out, and you get exhausted, and then it keeps you feel like you're on an escalator that you're not winning against.
So, how do you surf?
Yeah, I had a couple surfs midweek, just locally. Wouldn't really call it like a proper surf, just like
fun surfs.
Wait,
we had a couple of ones.
Just, this is terrible, like segueing. What's your like? We just told our like scary. What's your scary? What's like? I think this is interesting.
Scariest.
Yeah, I do want to know where you surf.
That was my
scariest
most intense moment that I find ever. I think.
I could give you like 5 times where heavy waves have landed just in front of me, where I've known for 5-6 seconds I'm about to get drilled.
Yeah.
And like they are the most uplifting and intense moments that have really stuck with me, almost more than good waves, probably because I haven't had someone has had the equivalent of that in a wave.
Well, I think there's a visual moment of just the horror and the ecstasy or whatever you want to call it, like that gets fixed in your memory. That kind of sight. I think it's like
sickly like
PTSD.
the acceptance.
Yeah.
I sickly like
after. It's this great feeling.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
I'm
breathing.
I was just
You're like
on my
pinching
own.
yourself, seeing if you're...
Oh God, where am I?
Jackson nearly had it happened at Prague, that big. You remember the massive day that we scored at 11? We went down the night before, and I took like 11 was just a bit cross. Well, it was just a bit angry and like northwesterlies.
Yeah.
So we surfed Prague, and I took Jackson out, and it was that height, but it was top to bottom. We got caught by a rogue set there, and I said I looked at him. I said, "Dude, we're getting smashed. Just smile. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We are going to get absolutely worked. You're going all the way down there. Are you ready?" He's like, yeah, I'm ready. We got completely, again, one of the most smoked I've ever got, but it was like that way smoked. It wasn't massively... It wasn't intense ripping about, but it was just the heaviness of like...
Feel the weight of it being sucked in.
And he had to take 4 of them. Only 12-year-old out there. I saw men like panicking and stuff. Like it was absolutely just one of the biggest sets I've seen on a beach break. Definitely on the south coast.
Yeah.
Well, you know, because of how big it was at Prague. At 11 the next day. Yeah, and it was bigger the night before. Anyway, he got onto the beach after this set, and he was basically his little lungs just couldn't have I mean, he probably was way closer to drowning than I should have let him. But like, he managed it. He was alive. He was buzzing. I said, "Look, now I know that was really scary. I'm going to go back out because I am also just as scared as you. But I know that it will freak me more the next time it happens if I don't just go out and catch another wave. Do you want to come out with me? I completely understand if you don't." He said, "No, I need my puff up. I'm just going to chill." I'm like, "Fair enough. Yeah. Well done, mate. Like, you're off the hook." Yeah. And I think that actually really helped him. Yeah. I think that now he sees a set and he knows he's getting worked, and I see him, he's fine. Yeah. He doesn't care. Yeah. He doesn't care about getting beaten up on takeoffs. But that one particularly will be stuck in his mind, not like it nearly killed me, but I'm here. I'm still here.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So what was yours?
Sorry.
What worst surfing? Like scariest surfing experience. Yeah. Fuck. I'm trying to. I got to narrow it down to probably 2. One was at do you know Beliche in Portugal?
Yeah. I only know it from footage. I've never surfed in Portugal. People are always amazed.
Serious?
By that.
Yeah. So one was there. I did a van trip down through Europe for like 3 months, a few winters ago now, maybe 3 or 4 winters ago, and we spent about 2 weeks at that wave. We had it really fun, and then there was just this one morning where it was pretty big, nobody out, but it was really long period. So I watched it for a bit, and I saw a few fun waves. I was like, fuck, like I'm gonna go. Couldn't really understand why nobody was out. And then I paddled out and got out back really easily, had a few sort of medium waves, and then just these sets started fucking marching in. And you can see them come around the headland like miles out to sea. And I knew something was coming, so I actually paddled out to like meet them. And then I didn't get caught by it, but then I was just looking in like, how am I getting in? Yeah. I had no idea. And like these sets would come through and there'd be literal like rivers coming out as rips, and it was just like, I generally didn't know what to do. But I managed to get in like pretty unscathed. Didn't get caught or anything. But I was.
It's in that moment.
But just the fear of the.
Yeah.
Oh my god! All I'm
the
doing
exposure.
now.
It was scary.
This feels like we're in a kitchen at 2:00 in the morning. I'm having so many flashbacks of like scary times in the sea. Like so, I did a similar thing in France. Went down there for the week.
Yeah.
It was like million foot and onshore the whole day, and I'd go and check it every day. Couldn't surf, and then I'm either working in a factory or I'm just staying in France on my own. And I made myself believe, like day 4, that it was surfable. Yeah. I got in and just went, whoosh, and I was like, oh my fucking, what have I done? I'm literally the only one for miles. I couldn't get in for like 15 minutes. Yeah. When I hit sand, I've never felt so safe in my life. Like, it was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I think that feeling of rips and the expanse is one of the scariest things in surfing. When you've just been carried in a place that you're like, how do I fight this?
Probably like my scariest time was, funny enough, talking about that reef in Devon. That I was the one that's sort of it's really fickle and it's often not perfect.
Where is it? Joking.
But yeah, you kind of feel like you're sat in the middle of the sea, like you're really far from the beach. And I was surfing it with a few mates, a few of the local crew that had sort of took me and my other friend as like the youngsters or whatever. I must have been about 18 at the time. And we had a few waves, and then there was just this one set. It was kind of similar to like you just see it go dark and you're like, fuck, it hasn't been like that all day. Like. Yeah. And I was just in the worst spot, scrambling, like heart fully going, and I can't even explain the view of this just like slab.
Yeah.
One of the biggest waves I've been in the water with as well, and it literally was like, I duck dived it, but it landed on me. I've got a video of it actually.
Oh. Have you?
And then there's just like, I think the other 3 boys were 15 yards ahead of me, and they were just fine. And the video's just like, goes from 4 people to 3 people, and I'm just completely gone.
Just done.
But I just got dragged super far in the water. Yeah. I was fine, absolutely fine, but
in the moment.
Just the moment of it coming, and like, you don't know if you're getting under it as well. You just like, I thought I might.
They're the worst. I might be. No, I'm not.
Yeah. But yeah, they're probably the main.
Where did you surf Friday?
Friday I went Harlin, but
how was that? That must be similar.
It was big, but I barely got it there in time.
Put a comment. I want to hear the scariest survival story of your surfing experience. I just want to know. Yeah. I'm so desperate to talk about this all day now. I've got so many little ones, right? Like, God, that was like touch and go, but
I briefly surfed Harlem, but I was really late, so I barely got the surf before it went dark. And then Saturday I went to the south coast, surfed Lev. It wasn't perfect at all. It was pretty messy and a bit of size, but there's nobody there. It was fun for turns and whatnot, but it wasn't like your classic session. And then did a bit of hunting around Pra area. Did surf again, but it wasn't great. It was just a bit too big and the wrong sort of tides. Harlin, but I was in for like half an hour. It was tiny, way too small. And yeah, I've been surfing the Fresh Blade mainly. Fresh Blade and Rockstar a couple times. That's it.
I surfed my 6-1 yesterday because in my head I was like, big swell coming, started getting comfortable on slightly shorter board for that coming. So I was kind of getting my game ready for. That was the new 6-1 Morris Cole.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear how that goes. Well, I haven't surfed, so I've got a new board, and it's made me be really fussy. And the last surfs I had were on our trip, and they were bad. So I was like, I'm just going to wait until I feel like there's a good surf. I've taken Jackson in a couple of times. He's been in. So he surfed Fistral yesterday. It's pretty bad. And then we went rugby on Saturday, so it was like a no surf day. So shout out to One Atlantic crew, Tim Hogg. He got us VIP tickets for a meal and the game because they were the ball sponsor for the Pirates versus Richmond. Come on the Pirates. They won. I'm now a rugby fan. I really enjoyed it. You met someone famous.
So yeah, what we'll do is we'll interject a little photo of me with this person. We won't say who it is. And we just want to see how many of our listeners have a fucking clue who it actually is I'm with, basically.
Yeah, so do you know who this guy is? Because I didn't, but apparently he is legit famous AF. So, but we went
notorious.
Yeah.
AF.
And Like, it's a pound note, I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we went rugby. That was sick. So Tim Hogg at One Atlantic. So he does boat excursions around Cornwall, and he does holiday lets around Cornwall as well. So look up One Atlantic if you want to go on a crazy boat excursion around the Cornish coast, or if you're looking for somewhere really, really nice to stay on your holiday down in Cornwall. One Atlantic, legends. Thank you so much for the treatment. I'm now a rugby fan, and I definitely want to go again.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
If the surf's not on and you want to kill like 2-3 hours,
Just
go
go
down,
watch,
catch a
lump.
drink, watch. Yeah,
Just absolutely. I mean, that one guy, I was like, he's dead. And like, he was on the floor for like 5 minutes, and he carried on playing. And he did not run right the whole way. I'm like, I think you've dislocated your hips, mate. Like, it was like he was there and then he was there. It was like, and you heard it. He'd only been on about 5 minutes.
It just ran out.
He just ran out. Just got absolutely, because he didn't get one person tackled. He got the, is it a ruck or a maul? What was it?
A maul's when they're all stood up pushing left and right. A ruck's when it's broken down.
He just got rucked in half. He was just like, he
It
needed
was a
to.
good crack. And it was just wet, and it was.
Oh, it was a proper.
We were saying that rugby and surfing have this one similarity. That if you don't do it, looking from the outside at people doing it, you think, you nut job, like, why on earth? But we were there going, oh, that's the last place in the world.
It's one of those
you
when you
wanna
watch
be.
it going, I'm so
That's the worst.
Just tell you what I don't want to be, that guy with the broken hand.
And I reckon I get that all the time in surfing when it's like cold, wet, and stormy.
Yeah.
People are there going, what are you doing? It's
Yeah,
like, no.
especially in the UK. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, exactly. So it's we're kindred spirits.
Yeah, it was good. Content we've got out. So we went on a surf trip, which was really fun, and we filmed and we had a really good time. And the surf trip's been pretty popular on our YouTube page, but did spark a bit of debate with surfers who said that although we didn't say, we haven't expressed where it is or when it was, they were unhappy that we put the video out at this spot, even though we hadn't given away any markers or said where it is. And I felt like that was kind of harsh because, you know, it's out there. There's plenty, I mean, weekly, if that spot is, whenever that spot's on, you see coverage and footage of that spot. So I don't know why we have to be...
Oh, to be fair, those people probably comment on that as well. I don't think they were like, oh, this is the one we're going to comment on. I reckon whenever this goes out.
Yeah, I felt like I wanted to argue with them, and then I was like, I'm actually okay with not putting spots out like that.
Yeah.
If that's the vibe you got. But it's a real tricky one for me because, like, one, I've been going there since I was a kid, and I do not feel like a local there. I don't. I know I'm not a local at that place, and I respect anyone who paddles up past me and wants to take waves off me. I'm not going to ask them to get their local card out. They can do it. It's fine. I'm travelling. Like, that's my mindset there. But then I know some people live an hour away from it, and I don't feel like I'm a local to an hour away anywhere here. And then there's like some people that are an hour and a half, 2 hours, some people 20 minutes. And I suddenly thought to myself, like, how do you constitute what you should and shouldn't do on a wave, at a wave, and like who gets to say that? And I think it's just all you get is a load of opinions flying about, and you don't ever solve it. So if the actual solve is just not to put those sort of clips up, I'm kind of here for it. But I wish I'd known, like, a solid reason why.
So I got, and this is just like, I do completely get it. Like, you know, we all experience it when loads of people, I know my little spot, when the uni guys turned up at the beginning of the uni season, suddenly you've got like, going from surfing on my own to kind of like 15 young guys on the spot, and you're like, kind of, I get how that feels.
But did it make you... See, I think...
No, because they fucked off now. It's vanished again. And I think this is where I was going. So I got the 2 points I have were it sort of... I think there was the implication that we're like adding to a growing problem, whereas actually I think we've gone past peak saturation of this point. I don't think the odd movie now and again is going to suddenly make more and more people go and it get overcrowded. I think...
Yeah, it felt like quite a cheap dig at that point to me, because I was like, because I don't think we are. If I did think I'd like to think that if I thought that was the case, I wouldn't put a clip out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's quite a special spot to me. But I do. The other thing of me thinks it's such a national treasure, and waves that are like there may be like culture defining for the UK surf scene, and you don't get it often. It's like it's too good not to share. It's like we're proud of it.
So one, I think we're past saturation point for that particular sport. Two, I think the temperature, the travel, that wave is going to sort the crowds out. That's not a wave that you're going to get loads of people.
The time before, so we surfed it then. Max 15 people.
Yeah.
Fine, no trouble in the. I've never seen trouble there in the water. So I've never seen someone a local have to shout at someone else in the water because of non-respect. I don't know if that means that there's people haven't taken the piss in the water. I certainly haven't taken the piss in the water. But if there was people taking the piss in the water there and locals have been pissed off, the locals haven't said anything in the water, which is a mistake. That's what.
But when it's like that, you're almost kind of like, I don't need to rush my next wave. I'm just going to wait my turn, get my bearings together, and then go again. It like I said, it sorts itself out. And last but not least, oh my God, it gave me stoked. It celebrated British surfing. It captured a level of coldness, of commitment, of just the pure sort of like I could watch, and I did watch mandatory like half an hour of like Torrin Martin over the weekend, and like that 12 minutes of just you guys freezing your tits off, just like getting up there, kind of got me stoked, got me frightened. Not because I know you, because I find that interesting and very relatable, and there'll be lots of people that are super relatable that just get that and go, that gets me fired up for what we're about, basically.
Yeah, and to be honest, the vast majority of the feedback privately and on comments on videos has been like really supportive. And I had locals on comments and locals in messages saying, "Oh, it's sick, like love it, cheers for not saying anything, blah blah blah." So I guess I'm talking about as like a small. I think there's only 2 people who just had a few back and forths, and it was nice, amicable back and forths, not horrible stuff. But it did make me think like where the sensitivities lie, and like how do you know that? Like what? You can't be like, "Hey, we're coming here. Is it okay if we?" You know what I mean? Post this video if we don't. Because I always thought that.
You can get a sense though, but like, I don't really know where I stand on it. I'm like, I do totally get it that people get frustrated with people and it's not like people don't know about the wave. No, but there was one comment on the YouTube where I was like, you know what, completely fair enough, and that was if people keep on posting videos, then it becomes a bigger, like a more well-known thing, and I like
for someone to go find.
But personally, I did get about 6 to 10 of my mates messaging me going, "Where's this? We really want to go."
You say no.
I know. I didn't. Obviously, not going to tell them, but it's just it puts that awareness out to people that definitely weren't thinking about that wave at all until they saw that video.
Which I agree, but part and every surfer has this. Every surfer, right? You go searching. And you find what you're looking for. You find even better than what you're looking for. That is the whole point. I've travelled pretty competently every coast of the UK looking for waves from the age of about 16 to I don't do it so much now, I'm 40, but I still really enjoy doing it. And the thing was, oh, have you heard about this? I think it's here and here, and you're just going on hearsay. And when you get to somewhere that's such a jewel, I don't think it's anyone's to hide, nor is it anyone's to share. Yeah. It's not anyone's to share either. Just because you found it doesn't mean you can go and tell everyone. No, let other people hit the journey. But it's a sticky one. I don't feel like I'm just. I don't feel. I'm not justifying that we put the video out and we should put the video out. And I feel completely okay about it. I don't, because people weren't okay with us doing it. Therefore, or some people weren't okay with us doing it. Therefore, I've got reservations about doing it next time. Maybe you just show the wave. I don't even know. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I have watched the first time I turned up to that spot. It was 22 years ago. I worked it out. It was 22 years ago. I was in the back of someone's van paying petrol money.
Yeah, same story.
Yeah, and no, I turned up.
As in same story to the one we presented, like they kind of...
Yes, exactly. But I'd heard about it from them, and I got in the van, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in the van, and this was like Indo, and blah, 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 blah. And we got up there, and there was local photographers, people that I knew who they were, because you'd see their name posted in the mag, so you're like, oh my God, he's here. So there's local photographers, Welsh photographers were there, Cornish photographers were there, Welsh, Cornish, and locals and near to local surfers were there, and it was, to be honest, bedlam. I was like, oh, this must be it every time it breaks now. No wonder the locals are pissed, because there was like 40 people in the water. Still no problems. I didn't see any problems, and I actually got waves. So like, you know, it wasn't a problem, but it was really, really busy. And that was 22 years ago. Yeah. Cameras everywhere. And I saw subsequently arguments about, oh, he shouldn't be posting anything because he's not from around here, and why is this particular place, they've only showcased the Cornish surfers and that's not fair, and what about showcasing local surfers and all of this sort of stuff. And it was just like loads of back and forth about it, and I just take myself away from it. I'm like, I don't care, I just whatever. But since then I have been plenty of times and surfed with just me and the people I've gone up with, and I've also been up there on my own, completely on my own, driven up on my own, and surfed with like, I'm looking for people to surf, and there's like 3 of us. And then like you're in the water for a bit on your own, thinking, actually, I don't quite like it on my own, you know. Like, and that's like in that 22-year span of surfing that way. So it's the same. Like I can name this one, but Thurso, it's had 6-star primes at it. It is undoubtedly one of the best waves in Europe, 100%. You can still go up there and score it. You can go up there with 15, 20 guys and it'd be busy, but you can go and score it with no one out. Yeah, because the locals aren't about, and there's other waves.
Where's the best barrel you filmed in Cornwall? Where I surfed on Friday. Yeah. And I was there, and it was barreling as good as I've ever seen, and not one person out. No, not even close. Nobody's even thinking about it, basically.
And do you know why no one's thinking about it? Not because they don't know about it. A lot of people know about it, but because you've got to get the tides, the winds, everything's got to come together. Then you've got to place the gamble that you're not going to go somewhere else. And some people just don't do it. And then some people are scared because it's massive. So it does. A really, really good wave will always have a way of thinning. But what I think is integral, and there is a respect up there in the water, as far as I'm aware, for the local surfers who surf there the most, that it's their wave. So if they paddle past you and you're really pissed off with them because they keep paddling past you and they take off on their waves, that's what you've got to lump. That is what you've got to lump to go up there, because that is what we do as humans. We claim places, and the only other way you're going to do it, it doesn't mean they're right and you're wrong. It just means you've got to not fight them, but you respect it or you combat it. And like, if you do that, everyone surfs ruined, because these are guys that have maybe not have found it, but they would have been the closest to source of the surfers who found it in the 70s. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there is a lineage there that you should respect, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. And I'm just I completely understand I'm an outsider there. But it's I have filmed there before and given people clips. I haven't used them. I've just filmed because I enjoy filming after a surf. And then people said, "Oh, can I have that clip?" And I don't know what's happened to those clips, but I know it's been local surfers and Irish surfers and Welsh surfers, and so I know that it's a funny one. But I'd love to know what people think, because I feel like we're core surfing. I feel like we respect our sport.
I'm not disagreeing with that, and I'm not in a position saying I don't think we should have posted it. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, same. But the reason, because I don't know how I feel about it, that almost makes me go, then maybe we shouldn't have. Yeah, and I do understand it. I do understand more publication.
We're trying to share positivity, aren't we? We're trying to share stoke. We're not trying to clout chase. But you know what I mean?
Yes. As a final thought for me on it, and this might be a moot one, but making surfboards and selling surfboards in the UK is hard work. We're pretty much all on minimum wage. We work super hard to try and do it, and you're competing against foreign boards, foreign marketing budgets, big marketing budgets, and a wave like that is now our #1 viewed video. It brings attention to what we're doing to UK surfers.
For the week,
in a world where you're having to scrap for the customer's attention because they're being bombarded left, right, and centre by budgets and waves much bigger, much more spectacular, this, that, and the other. That it is a national treasure. It's also an asset that we build the UK surf scene around, basically. And I think, it's all industry is effectively exploiting nature. That's how whether it's extracting
surfing in general.
No. Everything is we capitalise the exploitation of the natural world. Every single industry you can possibly imagine. I always
thought funny one was golf. because the first thing you think is like, oh, I'm outside and I'm not, but actually like it's all chemically induced. It's weird. Yes, at least surfing you are only like you're jumping in the water with stuff and then you're hopefully taking it back with you.
Everything you own is based on oil, which will be based on mining, which will be like an oil extraction. So the idea of kind of trying to, really gently sort of exploit one of our natural resources is respectfully for all those involved. And I think it's so low impact.
I don't know. Like, I think you like. Fuck, I don't know. As now you said it like that, I'm like, that's not why you should do it at all. Like, that's not a reason for doing it.
No, I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm not saying that you're exploiting it for the reason for exploiting it. I'm just saying that.
No, but for like sales and stuff like that, like realistically, I feel like you could do so much other marketing.
You're a professional surfer.
Yeah.
So your entire life is based on the selling of surfboards and memorabilia. And then to say, well, you can't be about sales is like, can you see the contradiction?
No, but blowing up like a spot that is pretty secretive just for sales.
So say you got sponsored by O'Neill.
Yeah.
And O'Neill, they make their money from blowing up spots all over the place with big budgets and
whatnot. No, see, this is what I'm saying.
I don't know if
O'Neill do this thing called, this is my favourite thing to watch. They call it Maps to Nowhere, right? And they basically work out how to do trips to very secluded, hard to get to, fickle surf spots.
Yeah.
And they don't ever tell you where it is. They might drop clues, but you'd have to you'd have to really know.
Number plates, literally.
They do everything to keep it secret. And my view of our trip was that's our Maps to Nowhere.
Yeah. So
and I love those O'Neill things. Yeah. And but it's a fucking fine line.
Yeah.
And I bet every time they do a trip, there's someone.
But that's my point. I wasn't having a dig at O'Neill. I'm just saying that like they're doing exactly the same thing that we're doing. So it's finding a respectful way of doing. The reason they're doing it is to get people to watch it, to sell stuff, so they can sponsor you and get your
Yeah.
It's.
No, I just think like. I don't know, like. That video, I don't think would have sold us surfboards. Personally,
no, I don't.
It would have grown awareness to the brand, definitely.
No, I think that all of our, so we spoke about this off camera. All the our UK pump series that we do. So we go to places when they're really really good. We get all the surfers we can get together there and let them know we're going to film, blow up, get your best surfing on the camera. And we're just going to pump it on we're not going to talk about where it is, even on the spots where everyone knows where it is. Yeah. We haven't really said.
Yeah.
And it's to showcase the surfing, our life, what we are in.
Yeah.
And it's not about, we know it's not going to get us sales because you're not, we're showing, for example, the clip that we just shown, how many of the surfers that got the better clips weren't even on our board. It's not about our board.
That's looking at it way too literally.
It's about surfing.
So we had the guy that came and picked up his board late 40s maybe or what have you, and he was like, oh my God, you boys out there do so like. Yeah. We have impressed upon him a legitimacy of us as core surfers. So when he wants to then buy a mid-length in 3 months' time, because he
thinks about us.
He thinks about us.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're going, we buy a fresh blade, pintail now to go and do that. It's about creating a space in people's minds where you live there, so when it comes to that purchase point, and that's what you're battling for, like breaking it down into the kind of the nitty gritty, and it's kind of taking the romance out of it a little bit. But that's effectively why we create content, so that people can see how passionate we are, how legit we are in terms of what we do, so that when they come to making that point of purchase, they decide to support us with it, so we can carry on doing what we're doing, basically. And content like that is the cornerstone of what we do.
Yeah. Well, I hope it. I really wanted it to be. Like, that's what I've spoke to you boys about. That's what I really, really wanted is like actual British surfing. Like, that's why we've got on our list now to talk about the juniors series. At the ISAs, and like I want to make it. I'm just proud of UK, and I'm kind of like, to be honest, a little bit sick of like anyone who tries to pretend to be as cool as California in the California way. I want to do it the UK way, and like I want to. I was really proud of that clip, and I didn't think. I said it to you before. We can't show. You remember when we were doing the rough cut? I'm like,
I sat you pouring over, cutting bits out.
Take that out.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, just like let's just focus on the surfing and the trip, and I was proud of it, and I would argue with anyone about what we showed. about not showing where the spot was and not trying to blow up it up for our personal gain. But I would concede the argument if enough people didn't want me to post there, because in a way it's like, all right, well, I'm hypothetically talking, I think their argument's silly, for example. I still respect it because that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. And but I think, I think on the most part it was actually positively received, and we're kind of going on loads and loads about two people that had some valid points, and we discussed it. They're not hating us now. Well, funny enough, one of the guys actually said he wouldn't buy a board off us.
Yeah, but then did you see another person?
He turned out to be Cornish and like just lives there. So like,
then somebody else said they will buy a board from us if we post where it is.
Well, we'll welcome both, but we're not giving any info away either way.
It elicits a lot of emotion, doesn't it? And I think it feels so personal, and you can feel the intensity of the chat.
It's like that in the surf world, though, isn't it? There is certain things that hit buttons for people.
I remember my mate not wanting to tell the rest of our crew where the bank that he kept on surfing was because it was so good, but he didn't have a driving license, so he kept on having to tell us when he wanted to lift. And I'm like, do you not feel really silly? Like, you're better off just sharing it with your friends. Like, and that's I'm not saying this everyone should think like me, but I could not keep a spot secret. I won't blab it publicly, but I would want to share it with people, especially if it was really, really good. Yeah. I would want people to know about it. And I haven't directly found world-class waves, but I've been in the circle of people that have found world-class waves. When I was shaping, so I had a flipping job, but all my other friends, they spent time, I won't even say where it is, but they spent time searching for waves, and they found them. And then we were like, oh my god, we're the only ones that know this wave, and we were going up there and like surfing it, or checking it and not surfing it, because we got the tide shot. Like, God,
but then how would you feel like if
me personally and someone else went up there?
No, but then say 5 years down the line, there's 50 people in the lineup.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. I'm using my intellect to decipher that that's never going to happen.
That's not a thing
for us. But that's okay if someone does think like that. So it's just is what it is. No one really world class waves are, I would say, maybe 50 to 100 years away from getting blown up in the UK because of how hard it is to actually go and surf them, even if you've got a flipping roadmap to where it is.
So I surf, I reckon 50% of my surfs are on my own, and the points that I'm surfing are in view of the main beach, and there'll be 50 people on the main beach, and even then they're not like, nobody's paddling down to surf that spot because it's like a kilometre, just paddle down the beach or what have you. It's I get that sense of protectionism, but if you were going, it's here, it's like the pin in the map basically, come to what have you, but the reality is most people can't be asked. The vast majority. I would argue that I think it's net positive. Yeah. Rather than net negative, but I would agree that there's some.
I'm on the fence, I think.
Yeah.
But I've got arguments here and there.
We'll give it a week of just digesting it, and basically in a week's time for the next NBN, you've got to come off the fence and let's see where you land.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm never not going to go up there for waves, but I don't have to film it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty cool with like not filming it, but just I need to work out what that is, because I didn't see that rule being set by anyone else. That was my one thing, you know. Right, that was a good one. So yeah, do you keep waves secret? No, you do. You do keep waves secret. But is it okay to maybe publish like the actual wave and not talk about it? In fact, we shouldn't talk about it in this, because that makes it a thing. If you just show a video of a wave and don't say anything, it could have been 4 years ago in Norway. The more you talk about it, the more you'll... Yeah, because I saw some people...
Turn comments off, even.
Yeah, maybe turn comments off. Post it, but turn comments off.
So this...
Exactly. Obviously, that was a very long way saying we've got a surf trip clip up on our YouTube page.
It sparked a little bit of chat.
Yeah, watch it. It's our version of Maps to Nowhere. We've got my new board. I did a kind of like unofficial video because we're really, really proud of the tech and the shape. And it just felt like, I don't know, I didn't think much about it. I was just like, I want to do a video, I want to share it, I want people to see it. And I've had so much positive response from the Instagram and the YouTube. Like, oh my god, like some people said some really really nice things. Just like, oh, you boys are always raising the bar.
Yeah, I saw
and
that as
Ashley
well.
Broughton, shout out, dude. That was really nice of you to say. And then, you know, my mate said, wait, let me have a go on that. What the hell? What's this thing? And why didn't you tell me that when I bought my new board? And like all this sort of stuff. Like, and
actually, Joe made a pretty big call this morning.
yeah, Joan is thinking of making
Only
all his
surfing.
boards and only surfing that tech.
Well, I've never surfed the tech, so I need.
Oh,
to,
have you not got that comment? I thought you'd surfed it.
no, I need to know what it feels like.
No, but he's saying it. It's just the conversation.
Yeah, but I don't. It's a no-brainer for me if it feels the exact same as a PU in the water.
But you've kind of felt it's not
Well-
similar. You surfed your pedestrian ship was an early
Yeah, but
version
not
of it.
enough to like dial it
Yeah.
in, and I don't really have a comparison.
No, but that's the whole point. If you don't have to dial it in, maybe. Like,
No,
I'm
but,
not.
no,
putting
but I've
in-
never surfed a 20 like a pedestrian.
Yeah,
ship,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
can't like.
Well, so obviously it's no. We'll bring it out officially, but Russ Winters ordered boards and he's taken them to Barbados, and he's never ever in his life had a
EPS.
EPS board.
Yeah.
And we did him a Cloud Tech, and he messaged me after his first surf in Barbados. He hadn't surfed for like 5 weeks. He's like, bro, that's the best small wave board I've ever had. I did an air reverse. Can't tell you the last time I did an air reverse. He said every turn it was just so reactive and in the pocket. I could put it where I want. I had loads of speed when I could get down the line, and like might be a bit of shape. You never know, but I feel like
He probably had something to do with it.
he didn't once talk about it in a way of being a different experience other than a surfboard.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there waiting, and I'm like, do I ask him what if it felt different? I'm just not. I'm
Nah.
just not going to. It's to Russ, the best surfer the UK's ever had. It's a surfboard that works really, really well. That's really interesting.
Enough
to me.
said.
Yeah, kinda. And then like I know that you know over the years we've had team riders that have been riding variants and loving it, and I think that if you're open to EPS, you will know how good Cloud Tech is, because it turns its window of maximising it as a high performance product. I'd say let's say if 80% of the UK it's perfect, I reckon now you're up 10%, 15%. You can surf at even wider ranges in the Cloud Tech.
Yeah.
And that is a big thing for people who love EPS.
Yeah.
And then for people who don't like EPS but have got the itch that they want to scratch, what a brilliant way of doing it, because you're basically what Heath said. He's like, I've never surfed an EPS board. He's like, oh, I can't tell the difference. It just feels like lively and poppy, and he just instantly liked it like Russ did without thinking about it as a different thing.
Because I think some EPS can feel so poppy and light that you sort of, it does feel like it's a different thing, and you kind of like, oh, do I like this or not? Whereas this is kind of, it's got a comfort level to it where
I
you
think
go,
they feel so different, like a PU and an EPS.
yeah, they do.
And like I've come to learn where I like my EPS and where I like my PUs. But it'd be in like Heath and Russ, like you said, have never been on EPS, so it'll be interesting maybe for me
Really
as
good,
someone who's surfed
really
it
good test. In
quite
fact,
a lot.
it would be a good idea if we didn't have to commit to you never surfing PUs again, but we just went, okay, 3 boards in EPS.
We
different
do
models.
the exactly same glass finish on them.
Yeah.
So you actually can't tell the difference. So there's no aesthetic or visual difference between the Cloud
You'll
Tech.
know. Nah, you'd know.
You can know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
impossible. Unless you like painted them all black.
No, but
Yeah.
You'd know within one surf.
yeah.
You'd know within one surf.
Oh yeah, you know within one surf, but then you got to go which one you prefer. It's taking all the kind of the emotionality out of the.
Yeah.
I guess. I'd be trying to get him to go bright like me. He's like, nah, bro. He wants to do dark red and black.
Yeah, I know we were talking about. I reckon
I
you should go dark red and darker, like purpley red, so it's got like a kind of a huey effect.
I'm whatever. I've sadly, although I can appreciate a board that looks good, I don't personally care. I just like
Oh, it has a
them
massive
individually.
effect on me,
All
yeah.
of mine are white.
That's good. I
White
think.
boards are lovely.
Yeah.
But like, no, what I'm saying is I can just accept it for what it is. I think that's a shaper thing, maybe. Might not
Yeah.
be. Shapers might have a particular, but you go, that is the best orange board I've ever seen. Whatever. That is the best.
I really struggle.
pink board.
If like visually for me is a massive thing. If something's like not how I want it, or even if I have like a ding or something, it's like in my head, like it fucks with me.
Well, Cloud Tech, you won't have any dings anymore.
Exactly.
Because PUs are a nightmare, aren't they? You've got to be so careful
Well,
with them in a
it's
van.
polyester resin that's a nightmare. Because my PU with the epoxy actually with the Integra deck on that, like lasts pretty well.
So Stokesy was like one of the first adopters of of EPS and epoxy that I know in the UK, because I've been working with it for literally 20 years. I've always been fascinated by it. It was always a point of difference at the start for me that I thought if I can get my head round, yes, kind of thing. Stokesy would have EPS boards, which he would use in quite a particular kind of low wind, weak wave situation, but he would quite often have PU boards with epoxy glass jobs, and really liked it, with less glass on as well. So you'd have less glass.
Yeah, so my 7.2 is a 4.4 on the deck and a 6 on the bottom, because I went less glass because of the epoxy on that longer one, which just allows you to get the flex into the PU.
So it's interesting. That's what, and that's the other reason I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of it from a business point of view, where we can offer shape, we can offer size, we can offer weight, we can offer flex, we can offer
durability.
Yeah, like it just lists what
we
you
can
want,
offer the environmental side of it,
which is
a bonus, a huge bonus.
It is a bonus, yeah, and I mean I love that about it. But I've always said, like, you know me with green.
Yeah, not for the sake of, but
yeah, do one. Am I putting an eco sticker on my board? Am I putting an eco sticker on my board? Because I'm not doing it
you have to pay money for it
to get a feather in my hat. I want the best board, and if I can have as little impact as possible, I will do that. Because it's like, you wouldn't walk down the street kicking over flowers, would you? You wouldn't just go, oh, I'm going to kick that down, I'm going to smash that window. You've still gone from A to B, but you've done it in this very impactful way. You don't have to. And that's the point. Like, to me, that's probably where humanity needs to, yeah, but I really enjoy smashing windows. You're like, no. You're walking from A to B. Just stop kicking cats.
You've never kicked a cat before, man.
Yeah, dear. See how my new board edits out? There's some second-handers going online, really cool ones, and there's going to be a review video on a longboard as well. I'm back in the longboard game. By demand, I'd say, because it's not my natural habitat. But we always get this one particular model of longboard. We always get it ordered. We've been able to offer it in a few different techs, and so look out for a review video coming soon. And we've got a second-hand longboard going on, which was the Segway, the mini Segway in there. And we've got a couple of nice cheap team boards, and they're all watertight, ready to go, plenty of life left in them. And there's going to be a couple of £100. Yeah, we're going to chuck a couple in for £100. They're low volume, perfect for kids, perfect for someone looking for a step-up board, and
heck, buy it and sell them for more.
Yeah, do us a favour, just buy it and sell it for more on eBay if you want. But they're going up for £100, so they'll be gone pretty quick. So keep your eye out for them. The Peru ISA World Juniors are coming. The English team just landed today. So you want to wish them massive good luck. You've got, I can't name them all because I'll forget someone's name and then I'll feel bad.
I know the boys, but I'm not sure about the girls.
Yeah,
so.
It's a good team.
Yeah.
We've got, I think it's, the girls is, no, I don't actually know. No, I do. Is it Lila?
Imari.
Yeah.
And Sonny.
Sonny Ingram.
Yeah.
Amari.
And
Lila. And Mari Hearn, is it?
Yeah.
And Lila Skinner for the girls. That's a hell of a team.
Yeah.
And then Finn,
Lucas
and Reen.
Solid.
So full kind of locally kind of vibe other than Amari. So
is that the 1, 2, 3 from the nationals? Lucas, Reen, and
no,
Finn.
It is, I think. Yeah,
That
but
was 1, 2, 3.
they I think they picked it on something to do with the Board Masters and then the English before.
Yeah.
So Heath was a bit bent out of shape.
Yeah.
Poor Beef, because he beat his brother in the Board Masters.
Oh yeah, and then the Open.
And he beat Reen, but they got picked over him because of the English previously, I think. But if you put in Heath on the subs bench from the juniors, you got a good squad. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And he's going to get his chance. So
is he a year below them?
yes, he is also younger than them. Yeah, all of them, all three of them. He's a year younger than them.
Yeah.
So he's got a year putting on muscle to get him.
Mate, he's got the mentality. Heath is going to be a really good competitor. When he got knocked out in Morocco, I know the reason he got knocked out is because he was spending too much energy trying to boss the peak. Like going, I don't care if this is awkward, I'm sitting here, I'm not letting you have that wave. But subsequently, people went down and got better waves.
On the inside.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, he's got a good mentality that he's going to get pretty good at comps, I reckon. And in the meantime, Beef's just out there free surfing, isn't he? So pretty excited for this week, I'm sure, because there's plenty. Then we had Raynan Granville. shout out Raynan. I'm sure you're not watching it, but he did his first comp on 4th boards, which was nice. I know it's real difficult for him because he's been surfing the same boards for like 9 years, and he did the first round on the fresh blade that we did him. He hasn't surfed it that much, but he did the first round on the fresh blade, made the heat, but then the next round he's back on his merits. He felt like it was a bit more stable, he just knew it better, and he just wanted to compete on that. And he made a couple of heats, and then got knocked, I think, in the round before the quarters. But there's a clip of Raynan on the epoxy that he has got to surf because the waves have been really small, which he's loving. So if you go on the 4th Instagram now, you want to see a flipping clinic of how to surf small waves. Raynan on a little sort of waist-high left. He's just absolutely doing bits on the Rockstar. And then me and Joan have just gone up the road to start filming with Stanley Norman on a video that started with beer in hand, pub chats about what boards Stan should surf as a 6-foot 83 kg surfer, because he's on really low volume boards. And I said, have you ever tried more volume? And he said no. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a high volume board, let's see how it goes, and we'll take it from there. And he's if he likes the board, I get to keep his Scope artwork board, so we can stick it on the wall in the factory.
Nice.
Yeah, because I really
Was
want
that the
one.
monster one?
Yeah, because he's got that. So I said, would you swap it for this if you like it? So I've done him a 30 litre board, 2 litres more than he's normally used to, and he's, just to make the video way more interesting, he's lost 4 kg in the gym.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm really up against it here. And I wish I did him a Rockstar. It's so much easier to put foam in the Rockstar than I've done him a fresh blade. That was a silly thing, but I wanted to compare to his normal shortboard. Yeah. So I guess that's why I've done it.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be interesting.
Hung myself out to dry potentially, but it's interesting. We started filming today. Waves didn't play ball, but we got all week. So watch this space. Joan's going to jump on that edit hopefully next week. Stan's 30 Club, done. Longboard review coming out, done. Second hand is going online, done. My new board, done. Should we post clips of good waves? Done. Raynan comp, done. Peru Juniors, done. The rest is just a shopping list.
Boom.
Scary waves, done.
Yeah.
Scary ass waves done. Yeah, I think there's going to be some of the scariest ass waves we've seen.
This week.
End of this week, beginning next week. I think it starts tomorrow. I think tomorrow it's going to be working.
Yeah, and then the week after, let's go Ireland.
I've got to be back for the weekend.
Yeah. So next week you could go for like 3-4 days. Then.
And all of your shaping has to be done.
I have to be back for Friday.
Yeah, could potentially be doable. Could potentially. Watch this space. For now, MBM, done. Over and out.
Yeah.